Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. How's everybody doing? We're back with our Week 4 NFL picks. It's already Week 4, like 25% of the season's already almost gone. Flying by as usual here. Pretty surprised. I mean, I think the league's down this year. Like, you got half the quarterbacks are missing. Like, I mean, you know. But at the same time, there's some interesting surprises here. Teams that are, seem to be popping that you wouldn't have expected. It's been pretty interesting thus far. Never mind like the Antonio Brown drama and the four other lists of drama that you could come up with thus far this season. But nonetheless, things are underway. Week 4 right around the corner. We're going to do our Week 4 picks, talking about the games that are going to be happening this week. Recap what happened last week, and then I'll be showing you the game of the week that I'm going to simulate with Madden. As I tend to do. We're going to have to figure out what that is first. First, we'll have to look at the schedule, and so let's go ahead and get started with this week. So first game, Thursday night, Eagles at Packers. This is actually a pretty good game, to be honest with you. Thursday night football is made fun of because, it's like usually the worst matchups that you tend to see on Thursday night. You see like, Tampa at Cincinnati, like just the worst games with like the worst broadcast team. It's really terrible. Most of the time. However, this week you've got Philadelphia at Green Bay. So Green Bay, I think these are two surprising teams this year. I think the Eagles, I don't know if I expect them to be doing better or worse. I just expect them to be more consistent. They had a lot of talent on the team. They popped at the beginning of the season, and then last 2 weeks they've gone and chalked up. They've been taking the L's these last couple weeks here. The Packers, on the other hand, surprisingly good. They're 3-0 somehow, largely because of that defense, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers, I think, is playing well. It's still kind of frustrating. He doesn't set his feet. It's like he just wants to run around and heave the... Like, basically what it is, he's like those people that play Madden that just want to wait until there's like 2 minutes left, and then just start like running around out of the pocket, like Hail Mary. It's like... He's not really, the fundamentals are not strong. He's not setting his feet. He's not, his head is who knows where. Especially the last few years, he just hasn't been right. But somehow, they're 3-0. He's been playing okay. Defense is playing well. I think, I'd attribute that to the fact they've, got a coach that has somewhat of a clue. So I don't know. It seems like good things are on the horizon for the Packers here. They do have some tough games on their schedule. At the same time, the Eagles, though, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where they have the talent. They're just not putting it together. You got Aguilar dropping, I don't know how many passes in the last game. So it's like, I don't know. Like two teams, I think these are two contenders right here. It's just, they got to kind of work out the kinks. Eagles more so than the Packers. But the road does get tougher for the Packers. But anyways, as far as this game goes, you get the Eagles going into Green Bay. They've had this might just be the game of the week. This is pretty good. Because the Eagles need to turn things around lest they sink into a even deeper hole. Packers, on the other hand, just want to kind of keep rolling here. If you look at the Packers' schedule, coming up here, like I said, it doesn't get easier. They've got after this week, they've got the Cowboys, the Lions, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Panthers, the 49ers. It's a sneaky tough schedule that they've got here. So, I don't know, because it's like I give the edge to the Packers, but the Eagles really need this win, and they got the weapons to do it. I don't know. I got the Eagles winning this game. They need the win. The Packers, it just feels like they've been kind of... There's a lot of teams, of the 3-0 teams this season, so you've got the Patriots, you got the Bills, the Chiefs, in the AFC, and then in the NFC, you've got the Cowboys, the Rams, the 49ers, the Packers, and that's it. Like, of those teams, obviously, like, the Bills, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Bills and the Cowboys just have no business being. That's a fake 3-0. They play like the three worst teams in the league. All right, so let's not put too much credence into that. Packers, on the other hand, though, they've played somewhat legit teams. I believe they played the Bears, the Vikings. The Broncos and the Vikings are gonna suck. But all right, the Bears at least week 1. That's it's promising. So I'm kind of conflicted here, because I feel like on the one hand, the Packers should be able to win this game. It's at home, but the Eagles really need it. I'm going to give this one to the Packers because I feel like the Packers have been more consistent. But it should be a close game. Next game up Sunday, Redskins at Giants. I mean, these are, give me the, yeah, they got the, so they started Daniel Jones, they benched Eli Manning. I mean, yeah, they came back and without Saquon, they came back and beat the Buccaneers in dramatic fashion. Daniel Jones had a good game. I'm not going to buy in because of one game. That team still sucks. It has no defense. Like, that was the Buccaneers. Like, I mean, but then again, this is the Redskins, so give me the Giants winning this game. I make a note about talking about the Redskins, it seems like every week in these videos. I don't know what it is, but it's like no one talks about the Redskins. I don't understand. It's like the Washington Redskins are like what's a good parallel? Like, I kind of point this out every week. Washington Redskins are like the Minnesota Twins, or like the Miami Marlins, or the like the Atlanta Braves, or the of football. You know what I mean? Like, those are baseball teams, but like the Denver Nuggets, like just a team that you really don't hear very much about. I don't understand why. They did just play Monday night, and they lost to the Bears. So I mean, it's, I don't know. What are you gonna do? It's just two kind of suck teams here, NFC East. Yeah, give me the Giants. I just feel like the Redskins are that bad, and I feel like the Giants are kind of surging here. Although, the Giants are going to hit their head on the ceiling, though. Like, I mean, this is only going to go so far, because you've got after this week, the Giants are going to be playing, the Patriots, the Vikings, not in that order, the Lions, not in that order. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so there's going to be a limit to how far this is going to go. Yeah, so give me... Yeah, give me the Giants in this game, just because, they're going to have their moment in the sun. Next, you have the Chiefs in the line. Now, this is still undecided what the game of the week might be here. This just might be it, the Chiefs and the Lions. I mean, this is... So the Lions, I've liked what I've seen from the Lions, like, compared to last year when they just flat out sucked. New head coach, Matt Patricia. You get Matt Stafford, who's just been, just eternally mediocre. It seems like... I don't know. I mean, they beat the Chargers. They tied the Cardinals week 1. Beat the Eagles last week. I feel like this is a somewhat legit team. Somewhat legit. Yeah, I mean, they're 2-0-1 because, of course, they had the tie in week 1. Feels like there's a lot of ties in week 1, season by season. But the Chiefs, I mean, it is in Detroit. I got the Lions winning this game just because I feel like this is a game you circle on your calendar, like when the schedule comes out. This is a game you circle on the schedule when the schedule comes out in April. You know what I mean? So I just feel like if there was ever a game that Matt Patricia and the Lions are going to be, know that they need to, be absolutely solid, this is the game, okay? Because, the Chiefs are flying, but the things about these teams, these high-flying teams, like the Chiefs, like the Patriots, I don't want to compare the Patriots and the Chiefs with the Cowboys, but, these teams tend to get punched in the mouth as time goes on, and, you know what I mean? Like, they feel invincible. And I feel like the Chiefs are one of these teams. I feel like it's in Detroit. Matt Patricia, the guy's a tactician, to the extent you want to give him credit. I just feel like, they could have some traps laid out for Mahomes in this game. They feel like Mahomes, he's such a great quarterback. If you can do certain things well, like if you can scheme up on him on defense, if you can, if you can, do sort of like a, I know like last season with the Patriots, they call it like an amoeba defense, but if you can throw like fake cover 2 looks at him, like zone when it's man when it's zone, throw him off, bring pressure when he's not expecting it, drop linebackers into coverage that he's not expecting, bringing blitzes when he's not expecting it, just playing, pass coverage, making them have to, make them run the ball, make them have to take the checkdowns, and just make them drive the length of the field. If you can do things like that, you can really slow down the Chiefs because their defense sucks. So and then if you can run the ball on them, then there you go. That's kind of the way you beat the Chiefs. It's just, can anybody figure that out? And can anybody actually? I mean, not figure. I mean, trust me, there's people in the NFL that know way more about football than I do. But I mean, can you actually go out there and execute the game plan? That's something else. But I feel like the Lions might be able to do it this week. Next game up, that's not the next game. Sorry. Next game is the Titans and the. Oh God, that sucks. Yeah, the Titans and the Falcons. I mean, yeah. Give me the Falcons. It's in Atlanta. This is really unremarkable. Next game of the Browns and the Ravens. The Browns at Baltimore. Give me Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They gave the Chiefs everything they can handle. It came down to the last few plays. Yeah, give me the Ravens in this game. The Browns, the Browns might be the biggest disappointment in quite some time. The Browns were hyped up so high that they could possibly never meet the hype, but like they're not even in the same building. You know what I mean? Like this Browns team. It's another instance of one of these like fantasy-ish teams where they get all these guys, all these big names, and then they suck. I really attribute that to coaching. Not that I think Freddie Kitchens is bad. It's just that there's just a poverty of coaching in the league. There's just not enough talented coaches, in the league. And I just feel like that has this ripple effect. Where you got teams like anytime you get one of these teams where they're like, yeah, we're gonna go out, we're gonna get OBJ, we're gonna get. We got Myles Garrett. We're gonna get, they just start like putting together sort of like one of these like like the Raiders or one of these teams. It really never works because it's just it's that's not how you put together. Like the best football team isn't the team with the most talented players. It's the team with the players who can execute well. A game plan put together by a really good coach, and just putting together a bunch of diva top flight players. Like, just because you put them all in the same room doesn't mean they can work together. It doesn't mean that, the game plan or the strategy is that great. And that's kind of what's going on with Cleveland. And then the Ravens, I've never disrespected the Ravens ever. The Baltimore Ravens, as long as put it this way, as long as they play in Baltimore and, Harbaugh's the coach, I never put anything past the Ravens just because the Ravens are one of these. They're very rare. You really don't see this anymore. One of these tough, physical, like Ray Lewis. I almost said Ray Rice. Like Ray Lewis. Not that he's the most spotless character you'll find, but just one of these tough, physical, hard-nosed football teams that you can never put them out of. I mean, except like the last couple of years where they've been pretty bad, but. When they're on and they've got the guys and they buy in and they're like ready to go, you can't put any game past them. Like they're just that. Harbaugh's one. Like I have to go Belichick, Harbaugh, Reed, Pete Carroll, but Sean Payton. That might be it. I think those are the only coaches in the league, and obviously Belichick's in his own class, but. Those are the only coaches in the league where you're like, all right, well, hold on. I know, like, things might, this game might seem like it's going to go one way, but you got this coach here. You got to wait and see what he's going to do. Like, Harbaugh, I just feel like, for instance, if you think of, like, the best team in the league has been the Patriots for a long time, right? I would never bet against the Ravens going and beating the Patriots at home, on the road, playoffs, regular season, because the Ravens are one of these teams that's got stones that can just go in there and, bring pressure on the quarterback, hit hard, be aggressive, and strategically do what they need to do to win the game. Like, they're just one of these tough, old-school football teams, and I never put them out of any game. This game here with the Browns, yeah, they're going to beat the Browns. I mean, this team's just too sound. And then, of course, you want to give credit to Lamar Jackson now. I mean, the Ravens have been good for a long time, but Lamar Jackson, terrific quarterback. The way the legs this guy has, the way he can run, I even think he could be better than Cam Newton. I don't think he quite has the arm, but this guy's speed is unbelievable. I mean, you not only do you have to, kind of cinch down on the passing game and the run game, but once you do all those things, you can't forget this guy could just scramble out of the pocket and run for 15 yards. Like, so it's one of those tough quarterbacks. The thing about it though is quarterbacks that play the game that way, like Mahomes, like Lamar Jackson, they usually don't have very long careers, because when you use your body that way in a contact sport like football, running all around, aggressive, taking hits. Sliding for first downs, putting yourself at risk, that opens the, Pandora's box to some issues there. But, I've enjoyed watching him play. I think the Ravens are going to win this game. Next game up, Raiders and Colts. Just give me the Colts. Next, it's kind of unfortunate what's happened to the Raiders here. Not that I didn't expect that it could happen, but I root for Gruden. I root for the Raiders just because I feel like the league's better when the Raiders are good. Just sort of the nostalgia of the whole thing, really, more than anything else. But, what are you going to do? Colts. Andrew Luck retires. Jacoby Brissett takes over. He was like 27 of 38 or something. Tremendous game last week. And then, not that I think that I don't want to say that was deceiving, but I mean, it's not like that the Colts are going to go the distance. I just don't see that happening. In terms of like being able to compete with the Ravens and the Chiefs and the Patriots and all that's just not going to happen. They could make the playoffs though. Could happen. But I feel like that's as far as it's going to go. I got the Colts winning this game. It's in Indy, West Coast team going east. I'm tempted to pick the Raiders just because I want them to win, but that's not the reason to make a pick. Next game up, Patriots and Bills. This is actually interesting. So the Bills are 3-0 for the first time, I think, since 2011. Now, you have to kind of preface this by saying they played like the three worst teams in the NFL, playing the Jets, the Giants, and the Bengals. Okay, that's one way to get to 3-0. I still think the Bills kind of suck. I think that they have a little bit more. I think they have a little bit more in the tank than they've had in years past. I feel like the coaching's still a question mark. I don't. Josh Allen, I don't think is particularly great. I think they just lucked in. They just backed into 3-0. I really believe that. However, I do think that, in normal years, there's been years, though, where they could have easily backed into 3-0 and went like 0-3. So, you kind of have to. It seems like they have some kind of a clue here this season. We're talking about a team that hasn't. Actually, I think were they in the playoffs like 2 years ago, like in the wild card, they snuck in. Didn't that happen? Was that Miami? I kind of forget. But anyways, so it's like it's one of these things where they got to be doing something right to be 3-0, even if you play the worst teams. You're talking about a team like the Bills, who haven't been particularly good in quite some time. To be 3-0 takes some doing. So give them credit. Patriots are going in there this weekend. So the New England Patriots defense has not allowed a touchdown since last year's AFC Championship game. Think about that. They went to the Super Bowl week 1, week 2, week 3, and they have not allowed a touchdown since last January, okay? That is, which has not been done in the NFL, I think, since the 1940s. Nobody's ever done that. This defense is legit. The Bills' offense is not, at least with respect to trying to score on the Patriots' defense. I think the Patriots win this game, but I think it's going to be a tough game. I think the Patriots have had problems with their passing game. Julian Edelman's hurt. It's unknown whether or not he's going to be playing in this game. You don't really need him to beat the Bills, but that's another story. It's actually the same story. But, I look at this and I feel like Patriots defense is really good. Their offense has kind of struggled. Like it's, they brought Antonio Brown in. Antonio Brown gets released because he just, not because of really anything he did like in his, on the field. Not because anything he said or did like in his, life necessarily. Like it's not like he had another one of these incidents. It's just like he couldn't contain himself. He started texting the lady, intimidating the other person that accused him. But it's, he came in, he worked hard. But when you can't contain your off-field drama, it will contain you. So that's Antonio Brown's gone. He's had all these crazy tweets on Sunday morning. Yeah, I think he might. I wonder if he's never going to play. He'll play again. Just, he's in court right now. He's, it's this whole thing. So, yeah, you got to. What a mess. So, Patriots get rid of him. It's not like they really needed him, but, it's nice to have as many weapons as you can. As far as this game goes, I feel like this is yet another game where the Patriots defense is just going to shut down the Bills. I feel like I have the Patriots winning this game like 24-9. Like it's going to be I don't think this will be a blowout. I think they're going to Buffalo. Those fans are crazy. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a tough place to play. It's not like Denver or Kansas City or Seattle or, New England or somewhere. I just think that, I don't know, they're going to hold the they're going to hold the Bills to the same thing. They're going to hold the Bills to field goals, like 24-9, I think. Yeah. All right, next game up, Panthers and Texans. Just give me the Texans. Panthers suck. Next game up, Chargers and Dolphins. Chargers. Like, why even talk about the Dolphins? Why waste our time on that? Next game, Buccaneers at the Rams. Give me the Rams. These are some easy picks. Seahawks at Cardinals. Give me the Seahawks. Well, it's the same time zone. The Cardinals, I feel like, are just one good game away from being able to put it together. I like Kyler Murray. Then again, they got smacked 38-20 by the Cam Newton-less Carolina Panthers. So, Yeah, give me the Seahawks. Seahawks are too sound. I feel the Seahawks could be making a run this year. They could be making a run. Do not sleep on the Seahawks. Although they did just lose to the Saints in Seattle without Drew Brees playing, so watch out for that. I think if they played again in the playoffs with the Saints, if the Saints make the playoffs without Drew Brees for the next 6 weeks or whatever, by that point, Drew Brees would be back. However, it's not that far into the future. Yeah, give me Seattle win this game. Well, then again, this is a tough one. This is a tough out right here. I mean, yeah, give me the Seahawks because the Seahawks just lost. They're more sound than the Cardinals. Although I do think the Cardinals are eventually going to find their footing. It's just not going to be this week. Next game, Vikings at Bears. Give me the Bears. The defense is pretty good. Not as good as the Patriots, but it's pretty darn good. Next game up, Jaguars and Broncos. Give me these are two other teams. You know what? Give me the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are embarrassingly bad now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are, I was going to say they were sinking ship, but it might have already sunk. So it's in Denver. Give me the Broncos. Turning the corner this week. Next game up, okay, if this was a few weeks ago, this would be the game of the week. Cowboys and Saints. No question, but Drew Brees is out. So, this is a tough one. All right, so let's see. Let's just put things in perspective here. All right, so we've got Eagles and Packers. Chiefs and Lions. I'm making Chiefs and Lions my game of the week. Yeah, I'm gonna go out just because I feel like that's a sneaky good game, and I feel like these other games are we kind of already know what they are. Cowboys and Saints. I mean, I can't believe I'm gonna sit here and tell you that I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to go to 4-0 on the season by beating the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. But Drew Brees is not playing. It's a different team without Drew Brees. I mean, I'm not saying Teddy Bridgewater is not good because that's not true. But the Cowboys are playing well enough that they should be able to beat the Saints team without its best player. Although, I mean, let's look at the Cowboys beat. They beat the Miami Dolphins last week. I know that, okay? So they beat just going back to week 1, they beat the Giants, the Redskins, and the 3 suckiest teams in the whole league. Yeah, I mean, then after this week, they got the Packers and they got the Jets, and then they got the Eagles, they got the Giants, so they're gonna start losing games eventually. I just don't know if it's gonna be this week. If the Cowboys win this week, the sports media is gonna explode because the Cowboys, undefeated, Super Bowl locks, all this unwarranted nonsense. But because they're not. I mean, Cowboys, I feel like are gonna go 11 and. I want to say 11 and 5, but then we're at 5 losses. I want to see where the 5 losses are going to be. So, Cowboys are going to play. Let's pull it up here. Cowboys are going to play after this week. The Packers, loss. Jets win. Eagles, loss. Giants win. Vikings win. Lions, loss. Patriots, loss. Bills win. Bears, loss. Rams, loss. Eagles win. I bet they'll split that. Redskins win. So that's like 10 and 6. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's realistic. They're not gonna be able to keep the space together, especially when they start playing actually talented teams, of which there are very few this year, I shall say. But as far as this week goes, I gotta win. I gotta beat the Saints. I gotta beat the Saints. I just feel like that's one of these ridiculous things that's just bound to happen this year. Next thing about Bengals and Steelers. This is gross. The Steelers without Ben Roethlisberger. The Bengals without any talent. Give me the Steelers win this game. However, the Steelers lose Big Ben. I hate calling Big Ben. They lose to the 49ers 24-20 in San Francisco. They lost to the Seahawks in Pittsburgh. Give me the Steelers. They're not gonna. I feel like the Steelers are one of these teams where there's a floor as to how bad they can be. So there you go. All right, guys, what's gonna do with this week's picks? I hope you enjoyed this one. If you please like, comment, subscribe, that sort of thing. Let me know what your reaction is, what your picks are. If you agree, disagree with anything, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, until next time, that'll do for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.
Now he'll let it go deep right.